everybody. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness, I just dropped my laptop as we were going live, so you probably got a really good shot of my ceiling, but that's okay. That's life. We're going to keep it in there. I hope you are well. It is Thursday afternoon where I am now, and I am sitting down and having a little drink. Don't worry, it's not wine. And I just thought, you know what? This would be a really nice time to jump on and talk about decluttering with you all. So hopefully we'll have a couple of people join us live. That's always fun if we have people on live. But if not, that's okay. You can always say hi if you're watching the recording afterwards, the video later. But yeah, say hi so I can say hi back. If we're not live, that's okay. Sometimes I come back and I answer questions and say hello in the comments. So yeah, we're going to talk about decluttering today. Because I know a lot of us are trying to do some decluttering while we're at home in lockdown, which is not always easy, especially seeing you are probably not at home alone in lockdown and you probably have little people their own decisions on whether or not things should be decluttered, which is a whole nother can of worms. But today I thought, let's just sit down and have a little chat with each other about a nice, easy way to declutter. That's not going to feel overwhelming. It's not going to feel like a massive job. It's going to help you get your home to a point where keeping it neat and tidy is a lot simpler because you won't have a whole lot of stuff just getting in the way of being able to maintain your home. I think a lot of us do have clutter in our homes because it's hard to let go of things if you're not sure whether or not you're going to use them again, right? So it's understandable. Most of us have clutter, and unfortunately, once you declutter your home, it's not always going to stay decluttered because there's always going to be more stuff coming in, and it might be things like birthday presents, Christmas presents, hand-me-downs. People might be decluttering their homes, like maybe your parents are decluttering your childhood home and they're passing your stuff on to you now. So you've got more stuff coming in there. Just the everyday obtaining of things, it's a bit of a pattern, it happens. So don't feel bad if you've decluttered before and you're finding that you have to declutter again. My house is pretty, I wouldn't say minimal, but I would say clear. It's pretty easy to maintain. We don't have a lot of stuff, but even then I still have hotspots in my house that need a declutter on a regular basis. So yeah, I have a little method that I do that I think will make life a little bit easier for you if you want to try and declutter this way. I thought I'd share it with you today and you can give it a go and let me know if it helps. So let's jump in. Okay. All right. So remember, we're thinking simple decluttering when we're talking about this. So this is really handy for you if you have kids at home with you and you need to find a way to declutter a part of your home in a way that isn't too complicated. Because trying to do anything while you have small kids at home with you is very difficult. Older kids, easier. A bit easier, but younger kids, it's very hard to find the time where you can actually focus on something without being interrupted. So we're not doing this like a big project. It's not going to be a big, so yeah. Having a method is going to make it a lot easier. If you don't have a really simple method to follow, then you're going to find yourself getting overwhelmed pretty quickly. And the house will seem like it's getting messier as you're decluttering if you don't have a simple method that you're following. So we don't want to risk that for you. But then on the other hand, you don't want to plan it out too much, right? Because if you plan it out in too much detail, then you're never actually going to get started on the declutter itself. So yeah, let's reduce the overwhelm in general and just give you a decluttering method that's simple and fast and easy to remember. So here's how I do it. And this is how I used to do it when I went to clients' homes as well. This is how we do it in our courses that we do online. Okay, so what you need: rubbish bag, nice big one, a donation bag, and you're going to need a large empty space. You could use the floor, but you could also use a big table if you have one that's nearby. And then you're going to need a timer. So you can use an oven timer or a microwave timer, but I just use my timer on my phone. Nice and easy. Okay, so let's talk method. It's so easy. It's so easy. We just need to start with a 15-minute timer. Okay, so you're going to set your timer for 15 minutes. And then what I want you to do is just take everything out of the space that you're decluttering, but don't just pull it out and dump it. Take it out one piece at a time. And you're not going to do a big space. You're just going to do one small area. So, for example, let's say we were going to declutter part of my wardrobe in my main bedroom. I'm not decluttering the whole bedroom. I'm not decluttering the whole wardrobe. I'm picking one section, and it's a small section because I've got 15 minutes to do it. So don't even think, okay, I'm going to do the shelves of the wardrobe in the main bedroom. One shelf, okay? One shelf. So you're going to open up the door, head to that shelf, take everything out one piece at a time. Don't just dump it. And what we're going to do is actually sort out those items as you go into piles, and you're going to put them on the bed or on the floor or on that clear space that you've got ready to go. So you take one piece out and you think to yourself, okay, is this rubbish? Is this donation? Or is this keep? And then you put it in the area. If it's rubbish, you throw it straight in that rubbish bag. If it's donation, you put it straight in that donations bag. Do not mix the bags up. I used to do it with yellow bags for donations, black bags for rubbish, but however you make it work, just don't mix the bags up. All right. And then everything else goes on to the bed. Yep. Okay, great. So 15 minutes, you've taken things out one at a time. You're sorting as you go. You've already bagged the rubbish and bagged the donations as you go. The rest is just sitting on the bed or the table or the floor, whatever space you chose. Okay, once that timer goes off in 15 minutes, that's when you just put everything that you're keeping back in the shelf. Done. That's it. Tie up the rubbish bag, put it in the bin. Tie up the donations bag, put it in the boot of your car. And that's it. We're just doing 15 minutes at a time. Now, if you got through those 15 minutes, you'll look at that one shelf now and think, wow, there's a lot less stuff in there. That's going to be easier to organize. Whether you do it now or later is up to you, but there's less stuff now, which means it's easier to take care of when you're ready for it. So yeah, it's a really simple way to do it, right? But here are the things that can get in the way. Sometimes when you're decluttering, there's a knock on the door, or the phone rings, or a kid gets hungry, or someone falls over, or someone needs you. That's fine. That's the reason we do one tiny, tiny, tiny space at a time. Because if you were doing the whole wardrobe and you took everything out and then you got interrupted and then you went back into the bedroom, you're going to feel super overwhelmed at that point. And what do we do when we feel overwhelmed? We stop. And then it doesn't get done, and then it's a bad experience, and we have all this mess and clutter out and about, and it's horrible. We don't want to do that. So that's why we do a teeny tiny space. If you're doing one shelf in your wardrobe and you get interrupted, that's fine, because you've been putting rubbish in that rubbish bag as you go. You've been putting donations in the donation bag as you've been picking things up piece by piece off that shelf, right? The only clutter you've got left if you get interrupted is the stuff on the bed or the floor or the table that you're going to keep. So if it's a long-term interruption, you can just say, hey, hang on a second, I've just got to pop something away. And then you come back and you put what's on the bed or the table back onto that shelf, tie up your rubbish and donations bag, good to go. Okay? If you still need to do that shelf and you haven't finished and you're only halfway through it, that's fine. Set another 10, 15 minutes to do it. The exact same method tomorrow. Get your donation bag out of the car and open it again. Start a new rubbish bag. Whatever you want to do is fine. You're just thinking in terms of bite-sized steps so that interruptions suddenly are no longer a big problem. So if you get interrupted and you're going to be more than a couple of minutes, just say, hang on a second, go and take care of it and make sure that you've got everything back in that shelf and your 2 bags tied up. Because then when you come back an hour later, you're not going to walk into a big mess. It's not going to be overwhelming anymore. That's why we do one small step at a time. Now, what if you've got little kids and they come in and they go, Mom, I want to help you. That's fine. Give them a job. They can be in charge of the donations bag. All right, so Mum goes, here you go. We're donating this one. Put it in the yellow bag. Nice and easy. If you've got 2 kids, one does the rubbish bag, one does the donations bag. If you've got 3 kids, one does the rubbish bag, one does donations. The other one let's carefully put everything on the bed in a group together. Get those guys busy. You know, they can sort out things. If I'm sorting out my jewelry, for example, out of the stuff I can keep. Okay, well, my kid can help organize into necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. The more that you include them in what you're doing, especially when it's a bite-sized activity and you're only doing it for 15 minutes, that's when you're going to be able to do it with little people around with you. If you were trying to do the whole room in one day and you had little people around with you, everybody suffers. Everybody suffers. Now, if you're halfway through that 15 minutes and you've got just that one little shelf that you're working at and you've got the kids with you and suddenly someone goes, I'm hungry, I need a snack. No problem. Let's tie up our bags, pop the things in the bed back in the shelf and go and get a snack. So you're doing the process, right? You don't have to drop everything and run and get a snack. That's fine. No problem. Let's go and get a snack right now. We'll tie up the 2 bags, put this stuff back on the shelf and we'll come back tomorrow. Or we'll come back after the snack or whatever you want, right? Nice and easy. What we're aiming for here is a change in mindset and a change in approach. You're taking a job that people traditionally see as difficult, overwhelming, and hard, and you're adding little hacks to it to make it a lot easier, a lot simpler, and reduce that overwhelm. When you break things down into tiny steps like that, you have more freedom because you have more mental energy to do it, and you'll stay calmer and things are easier, and yeah, baby steps, bite-sized steps to the win. All right, so that's it from me today. We've talked about simple decluttering and how to do it really, really easy. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get through 15 minutes and you get interrupted. You can always try again tomorrow or next week or whenever you want. If you get through that 15 minutes and you think, I'm still in a decluttering zone, I want to keep going, that's fine. Start your timer again, do another 15 minutes. However you want to do it is fine, as long as you're not feeling overwhelmed. All right, everybody, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a very cash chat. It's not highly edited or anything like that because I'm living with my kids in lockdown right now and I don't have a lot of spare time to do all the fancy stuff. So if you still liked this video, even though it was a little bit of a sit down and just chat, let me know in the comments and I'll do more of them. I've got plenty of stuff we can talk about with decluttering and organizing and tidying and making life easier, especially when you're a parent. I've got so many ideas and I'd love to sit down every Thursday and maybe have a cup of tea and talk about one of them with you. So if you like the sound of that, let me know and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.